Sheldon, just maybe your thoughts particularly on that opening period and really just how hard it is to spot a team like Carolina, a 3-0 lead, trying to claw your way out of it.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's actually liked our first shift of the period, first shift of the game. I thought we Nico's line got out, got a good start, and got us going. But then we turned the puck over right after it, and they just sling one at the net, and it goes in. That's the second time in the series they've scored on their first shot. That's a tough way to start the game. Some guys haven't even touched the ice yet. You're already down. So yeah, that's tough. But I thought we found our way out of that. I thought we got better in the second period. Obviously, made a game of it. But not enough at even strength in terms of offense generated, and obviously our power play was unable to come through again.
You mentioned liking Nico's line at first. It feels like your top guys in terms of production have come close, if not matched, Carolina's top guys, but the depth has kind of been the difference. Just what more do you need to see from your bottom two lines in terms of offense?
Yeah, I mean, offense has been a challenge, for our team, most of the season. So to expect them to all of a sudden come out and have a dominant effort offensively is probably not realistic. We could use a goal. We could use them chipping in for sure. The Dowling line, for instance, in Game 3, I thought generated some really good scoring opportunities for us. That builds life, energy, momentum, all that sort of stuff. But the biggest thing, we just need them to be able to carry their weight on their shifts and control play and maybe win a matchup so we can get a favorable matchup, somewhere else. So that's really it. But that becomes a big factor, whether it's the depth on defense because of our injuries or whether it's it's our lineup. Like we need guys to to play better, and that's really what it comes down to. They've got some quality depth, and it's been a factor in the series.
Meier specifically, he gets a goal tonight. He's been pretty noticeable. Just where are you at with kind of his game this series?
Yeah, he's been good. I mean, obviously, he deserves to have more goals. He should have more goals than he has. He's been all over it and had some really high-end chances. Obviously, you look at Game 2, he had some really good looks that could have tied that game for us and perhaps put us into overtime or better in Game 2. But it's nice to see him get rewarded today, and it's just, that's how it works out. Just sling one at the net, and it finds its way in. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come. We're going to need more of that from him. But his overall game for me has been good, and he's generated the looks that he would want to have. They just haven't gone in for him, but hopefully today is relieves a little bit of pressure from him. He can make good on those next ones. Sheldon,
did you sense any fatigue defensively at all?
Well, there was lots of fatigue, but I think your question is probably in relation to the last game and just our injuries and such. But I think the fatigue was more so just that Carolina was way better today. They were on top of us way more. So you're spending more time in your end. You're on your heels. All these sorts of things. Throughout that first period. So then it becomes a factor. And I think it's at times in game 3 we were able to do that to them. They did it to us today, which is more custom to their play and what you expect from them. So we were prepared and talked about managing that and expecting a push from them. Like I said, our first shift was real good. Looked like we were ready, and those guys had a great shift for us. But then it's tough from there, obviously.
And in some ways, do you think it was kind of a lost opportunity with a goalie coming in cold?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, I think we scored one. So in that sense, I think we capitalized early, kind of caught him, looked cold and looked like he wasn't quite ready. So we got one there. But yeah, I mean, they defend very well. They push you outside the dots. They don't give you any high-end chances. And we weren't able to make the necessary plays to be able to generate them on our own.
Sheldon, what was your perspective of the collision between Meier and Freddie, and how concerned were you that they were going to elevate that to a major?
I mean, anytime they're going to look at it, you're concerned. But from my perspective, it looked like it's pretty incidental. So I wasn't expecting much of it at all, frankly. And they told me looking at it was just confirming what they thought on the ice, which is that it was not worthy of a penalty. So that's the rules being what they are, gives the officials the opportunity to take a look, which I think they should take advantage of. And they did, and clearly, they thought there was nothing there.
Sheldon, we've talked about it a lot through this series, and knowing that they do have the top penalty kill in the league for the regular season, but is it a bit baffling that your group has gone 0 for 12?
Well, I don't know if baffling is the right word, but it's, we expect better of ourselves. I thought we spent a good part of the day yesterday working through it and had long meetings and discussions with the players, and I thought Jeremy had a good plan and connecting all the different games and the different things that we needed to be able to do to succeed. It's one thing to have a plan, you got to execute it. It makes it really hard. But I think, their penalty kill is very unique to the league, and obviously better than everyone else in the league, and it takes away a lot of the things that our team thrives on, and that's been a challenge coming in. And so there are plays available. We have been unable to make them under this type of pressure, and that's something we have to find our way through, clearly. So, obviously losing this one's a tough one. Now this one stings even more, of course, and it's a real tough battle from here. But, we're going to do our best to recover from this and come in tomorrow and regroup and get ourselves out to Carolina and do everything we can to bring it back here. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm trying to get behind Svechnikov, and then I'm trying to get open for passing lane, and then Svechnikov pushed me in, obviously. No intent there, and hope he's not injured too bad. So, but yeah, nothing on my side that I could have done different.
Did you feel it seemed like they kind of ramped up with some hits, and I think Orlov tried to get you a little bit after that. Did you feel like the physicality ramped up after that play?
No, I mean, it's the playoffs. Everybody's trying to be physical, so no.
Timo, I know we talked about it a lot yesterday, but just the frustration maybe of not being able to capitalize on your man advantage and really, 0 for 12, that has to be a glaring thing for you guys that it's putting you in this hole a little bit.
Yeah, a special team is a very important thing in the playoffs, and we got to be better, and that's it.
Where do you feel your line has generated a lot, and a lot of times has matched their top line this series? Just where do you feel you guys are at as a line?
You're trying to obviously win your matchups and create momentum and try to get the puck down in their zone and some changes also, and I think we just got to keep going. I think the important thing is that we keep getting better, in the series. We know what job is ahead of us. We got to go in Carolina, play a full 60 minutes of our hockey, and then we're going to be fine.
Anything change, Timo, when Kochetkov comes in? Is there a different, as far as the playbook on him, knowing what to do, or no, not really, just play your game?
I think overall we got to do a better job of getting pucks inside and getting bodies there. I think also maybe a little too cute with some plays. So you look at their goals. They've scored from outside shots, and they kind of go in. So we got to give the puck more chances with more bodies at the net.
What does Palat brought to your line?
What's up?
What does Palat brought to your line?
Yeah, he's. He brings a lot of things. The way he works, the way his attention to detail, offensively, defensively, the stuff he makes away from the puck. He's blocking shots, everything. So he's a very, very good player and a key player for us.
Sorry to ask one more about this, but did you have any concern they were going to rule it a major when you were waiting, I guess, for them to review that?
I mean, I knew that he pushed me in, so I like I said, I couldn't have done anything different. Obviously, it's a tough play, but yeah.